Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of GenAI Vlog. In our previous episodes, we talked about how to use Anthropic API solutions to build AI-powered chatbots applications that contain agentic workflow, tool calling, and we're taking advantage of the leading top models out there, such as Claude Opus 4. So today we're going to be focusing on a real world headache that we've all faced. So imagine you waking up with a migraine, some sort of pain in your head or elsewhere in your body, and then you just try to get a quick medical advice, but at the end of the day, you feel like you're getting stuck in endless calls in between doctors' offices and insurance companies that leave you frustrated and untreated. In this episode, we're going to be talking about exactly that. We're going to be building a simple AI agent using OpenFDA public API as a backup to support the large language model. This resource is backed by government health data service and can instantly answer your medication, treatment, and health safety questions, right? No more waiting, no more insurance headaches, just accessible information at the tip of your finger. So, with all that said, obviously here we give credits to OpenFDA that provides us the API endpoint. Now, with all that being said, we can then dive into the code. So this is the script. It's actually not that complicated. It provides us the open FDA API to allow us to search for drug label information. So the function here, that is it. The only thing special here is the URL endpoint provided by government. So on top of that, we layer the FastMCP server over this function, and you're good to go. And then also notice that here we use mcp.tool to decorate this async function so that this function can then be listened at on the client side. So in the terminal window, I'm already having the server up and running. I'm using UV run to manage the package and execute this call. And then after that, the server is up and running. So once the server is alive, I then need to go to the configuration file to make sure that the schema is registered here in this dictionary, of which I specify the directory of the Python script, and you are ready to go. Now let's go to the client side. So in terms of a client side, we're talking about a desktop, right? An application, an IDE, a web app of some sort, right? In this case, I'm just going to be using Claude Desktop as a simple example. So go to the search and tools, scroll down, you'll be able to see search FDA right here. Click in there, you'll see that this tool is turned on, and the function is called search FDA database. This is not a coincidence. This is because previously in the Python script, we defined the function just like that. So with all that being said, we are good to go. Now we can search what we need to search, right? For example, search FDA for ibuprofen, just something simple that everyone's used before, right? So at this moment, the chatbot will recognize that this is no longer just chit-chatting, it actually requires a tool calling. It will continue to call the tool iteratively until it get it right, right? So here we see that the chatbot has attempted this tool calling usage for a couple of times, and that's why you see it's continues to say, hey, I'm trying to search for correct information, things like that. And all the way to the end with a couple of tries, it finally found the relevant FDA drug label that includes ibuprofen. It will use that content to then enhance the response from the large language model. So in other words, at this moment, the answer that's being displayed here, it's no longer just from the training data of LLM. It's actually supported and can be referenced from the FDA database. And you see here, there's some metadata for what the database contains, right? Allergy alert, right? Here, let me scroll down. And then you see that this description here to basically describe all sorts of situation, right? Here it says when to use it, when to stop use it, right? Things like that. So that's great. That puts the entire database of FDA at the tip of your finger, and this AI agent can essentially fetch out the related, the relevant information for us and display in front of us at the tip of our finger. So hopefully you like this episode. Hopefully this episode sheds some light to show you what are some of the helpful use cases that you can enhance your large language model with tool calling, with model context protocol, or also known as MCP, and to help you solve a real world pain spot. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like.